You're about to hear the end of a conversation that Anthony and I have had. Are you ever curious about what we're talking about? Well, you can hear all of those conversations because those conversations in full are delivered to our patrons.
Yep, you head to patreon.com/wehaveconcerns. You get all that bonus audio. You can also get early episodes and hangouts and secret mail. Patreon.com/wehaveconcerns to find out how. Don't tweet, Jeff. You're bad at Twitter. Twitter makes you bad.
Yeah.
Twitter makes you feel bad, and it makes you feel sick, and don't tweet.
Bad.
And if you're listening out there and Twitter makes you feel bad, don't tweet. Twitter's not important. This is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Cannata.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens.
Anthony, we have established on this show, and I think it's common knowledge, space is trying to kill you.
Oh, all day, every day.
You want to go to space? Get ready to die.
Listen, as far as we know, we are literally behind the only force field that stops space from killing you.
That's right.
Spaceship Earth.
In the entire universe.
In the universe, as far as we have found, this is the only blast shield that protects you from space killing you instantly.
And what kind of idiots want to go beyond the blast shield?
Me.
Yeah, me too. But, so we're that kind of idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
Some interesting new information, because I think we sort of accept the fact that space is trying to kill us in the abstract.
Yeah, sure.
We watched the Damon on the Mars.
Yeah.
Have all kinds of various problems with oxygen.
All solved by potatoes.
All solved by poop and potatoes.
Yeah.
But I don't think we really grok the varying difficulties that one might encounter in space.
I feel like I do.
Well, there's a new article in Wired that was sent to us by Marshall Thompson. Thank you so much, Marshall, for sending it. He sent it to wehaveconcernshow@gmail.com. We also have a subreddit at wehaveconcerns.reddit.com and a Facebook group that's gaining every day. All I get are notifications of people joining the Facebook group.
It's
awesome.
blowing up.
It's blowing up.
You know what? I think Facebook might catch on.
That's the feeling I'm getting as well.
It's facebook.com/groups/wehaveconcerns.
That's right. So this is an article all about something that has literally never happened in the 60, 70 years we've been taking human beings into space. Never happened yet.
Boning.
Well, no, I'm sure that's happened. There's been some space boning.
There's been, no one will give me a straight answer.
Several miles high club.
I've literally hung out with astronauts and no one will give me a straight answer.
I hung out with an astronaut once for a show I was doing, and he totally winked and gave me the gave me the winky wink.
But is that an astronaut trying to be cool?
They don't have to. They're already cool.
But astronauts are like the coolest nerds, right? And I do get this feeling that sometimes astronauts want to make staying up there sound cooler than it is.
Well, this is not about boning.
Okay.
But it is about bones. We have never had to do surgery in space on a human being. All the calamities that have happened, and there have been a lot. There have been disasters.
No.
There have been problems. There have been things that went wrong. None of them have involved breaking a bone, having a laceration.
So here's what's up. On the space station, if they are doing an experiment that has to do with liquids, they do it in what's called a glove box, right?
That's right.
Because liquids go everywhere.
Because they bring their car.
Yeah,
and
you keep two flares in the ISS. You go up to the cockpit and you open it up, and what's in there? 2 road flares, a map, and license and registration,
your insurance. Yeah, exactly.
For the space station, in case a Green Lantern pulls you over, I guess. No, so the glove box is basically, it's what it sounds like. You put your hands into these 2 gloves,
right,
and it's like a clear acrylic box, and you mix your liquids in there because liquids go everywhere. You can't control what happens. Things move in space until they hit something that stops them.
Right. So imagine, if you will, you start bleeding. Where's your blood going?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Honestly, bleeding is the most inconsiderate thing you can do on the space station.
Do not bleed.
Do not bleed on the space station.
Sign you see when you enter the space
Honestly,
station.
a very real thing. So yesterday for the Science and Star Wars show, we had a great guest. We had Katie Coleman, who was NASA's chief of robotics for a while. She spent 159 days living on the space station. And one of the things she told me is oh yeah, we have those 3D printers now. I was like, yeah. And you're printing tools and stuff. And she's like, yeah, but mostly spoons and scissors. I was like, why? She's like, because everybody loses their spoons and scissors. And I was like, where the fuck do your spoons go, Katie Coleman? Where's there for them to go?
Right.
And she's like, well, the space station's like the size of 10 train cars.
Wow.
You're going to lose your
It's got
spoon.
nooks and crannies, too.
You're going to lose your spoons.
You know what, though?
Flying scissors.
I was just going to say that it's one thing to lose spoons, but don't lose the scissors, please.
That's irresponsible.
That's not good.
And that's what I told her. I looked in this astronaut's eyes and I said, that's very irresponsible of you.
Do not let a flying scissor hit you in any place.
God, no. So, a scissor hits you. I mean, you watch astronauts do that thing where it's like, look, I'm gonna a little bubble of water out of my water bottle, like, boop, boop, boop. But
imagine that's
you're
blood.
not allowed to do that if you're new. Honestly, like you're not allowed to. She told me like you have to be up there for a couple months before they let you try to do any water tricks because shit splatters everywhere.
It's like playing Stairway to Heaven in the guitar store.
Oh no!
Please don't.
Please, you're not allowed. Don't. What is that? Van Halen's Eruption? You're not ready. No. You are not ready.
In fact, in this article, there is a reference to a 2009 paper in the Journal of Trauma Management and Outcomes called Severe Traumatic Injury During Long-Duration Spaceflight.
God, add the Journal of Trauma Management and Outcomes to my list.
Yeah, we need that one.
Oh,
we need that
I bet
one.
it's morbid as hell. I want to get that journal. Quarterly? Oh.
You know what, though? You skip right to the outcomes.
It's better than a loot crate. It's a loot crate for someone like me.
It is. But you don't waste your time reading on the first few pages of the management.
No, I don't want to hear I don't want to hear the abstract.
Just jump right to the outcomes.
I'm not reading the abstract.
What happened?
Give me figure 1. I just want to see the photos.
Oh, no. So in this paper, they basically said that, and this is kind of the rule in space, if you are bleeding more than 100 milliliters per minute, you're dead in space. You're dead.
100 milliliters is not much.
Not a lot. In fact, they say do not waste the anticoagulant bandages on a astronaut who's bleeding more than 100 milliliters per minute because it's just a waste of materials.
Now, how much is 100 milliliters per minute? Do they kind of quantify that in terms of what sort
of injury?
Kind of injury. Is that like a deep cut?
It's like a
is that like Radiohead's the national anthem?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It doesn't sound like a lot. I didn't really look it up, but basically, you because what happens in space is your blood actually is thinned, and so it's the kind of thing where if you're taking blood thinners on Earth, if a normal person taking blood thinners and they start bleeding, they can bleed out really easily because the blood just flows and flows. Well, that's what space does to you.
Wow. Okay.
So you just Googled it.
I just Googled it. And all I can get, and this is why people ask us why we don't look things up during the show. Here's why we don't look things up during the show. Number 1, we're very smart.
Right. That's the chief reason.
Number 1, super smart. Number 2, when you look up like how much blood is like 100 milliliters a second, or what kind of injury
/ image.
What kind of injury is 100 milliliters a second? The top 3 Google results are all about like if your period flow is 100 milliliters a second, definitely go see a doctor.
Well, but that's telling.
That's very telling. That's more than normal.
Yeah.
For a period?
Yeah, but I mean, we're not experts. But it does telling that that's a possible that a human being could do and not be close to death.
One of the headlines for this is Vagina or Niagara, which I think...
That's not cool.
No, I think on the page it probably looked funnier than it is when you actually phonetically read that.
Yeah.
So whoever wrote that article...
Anyway,
it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's not too much that you would die on Earth, but in space they go, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You are dead.
Listen, just by being in space, you're losing 1.5% of your bone mass every month.
Right. So we've never had an astronaut break a bone in space, but your bones are way more likely to break in space.
Yeah. And if your bone breaks in space, what do?
That is the entire subject of this article. What do they do? Because there are tons of problems in space on the idea of doing traumatic surgery. First of all, they don't even fucking train the astronauts how to do it because no one knows what it would take. No one knows.
No one knows.
So why train the astronauts in a shit that is going to be all they're going to be doing is calling down to surgeons on Earth anyway, and getting expert advice. So there's no point in training you in things that are just question marks.
Yeah.
So basically what they're saying is IV bags won't work. IV
Because where would it flow? There's no gravity there's no gravity.
Relies on gravity to work. And the way bubbles work.
What if you put it into a bellows? What if you put a bunch of blood into a bellows and you're just like, or like an accordion?
Why do we have all these accordions on the space station?
Well, the accordion is to deliver pressurized blood in case of an injury. The monkey is just for thematic purposes. I mean, if you've got an accordion.
Yeah, you got to have a monkey.
You got to have a monkey.
He's great, though.
Plus, people love videos of monkeys in little astronaut outfits.
Hey, Gordon, don't play the accordion today. Oh, I think there's like 3 or 4 pairs of scissors in there.
Yeah, like why bother training? Because it's never happened. We don't know what would happen. You'd have to call down anyway. But this is kind of genuinely frightening to me because now I'm thinking about appendicitis, as I always do.
Yeah.
And imagine you're an astronaut that's got to get your appendix out in space. Somebody cuts you open. All your insides go floating.
Yeah.
They go floating around.
Yeah. Not only that.
Can you imagine somebody has to have some sort of like a stomach surgery and just intestine just starts like a magician's scarf?
Yeah. Or if it doesn't flow out, the other thing that could happen is it forms like a sphere around the incision.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can't see what you're trying to operate on because you're looking through a bubble of gore.
Yeah, a gore bubble.
A gore bubble, which previously was only a thing you referred to in talking about facts in the environment.
Yeah. It was like that 3 years where we really cared about facts. We called that a gore bubble.
The other thing that they're doing to try to learn about how this would actually work, check this out, Anthony. This is insane. They're literally doing medical procedures on animals on the Vomit Comet.
Hell yeah.
They're fucking going in the Vomit Comet, which is, if you're not aware.
And by they, we mean OK Go.
That's the new video.
The band OK Go is on the Vomit Comet, and every time it goes into its parabola and they start floating, they do a single shot music video.
It's
and
amazing.
They save the life of a tiny dog.
The tiny dog to the beat.
All sponsored by Morton Salt.
Of an OK Go video. It's an amazing song, too, by the way. It doesn't have anything to do with surgery.
I can't remember a single OK Go song. I can only remember the videos. I couldn't sing along with an OK Go song if I tried. And that's why I don't trust them to figure out space surgery.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So they're trying it on the Vomit Comet. So they take these animals up. Vomit Comet goes into its parabola. You've got it's only 15 seconds of weightlessness or something.
But they're like slicing into an animal quick to find out what the fuck happens.
Oh, this is some like From Hell, the Nick shit going on.
I'm telling you, dude, this is the kind of thing that 100 years from now they talk about as being this horrific, primitive way that human beings were trying to learn.
It's like a Gwar concert right there. That's like the first 2 rows of a Gwar concert. So can you just imagine? It's just like, all right, here we go. It's in about 3 seconds. 2
and
1,
go!
Come here, Rex.
Oh God, I'm gonna throw up.
I mean, I'm just gonna throw up because of the genuine, like just the Vomit Comet stuff. Like I was gonna throw up anyway.
But also the gore of the dog that we just vivisected.
Here's what's up. Here's something that we learned on this parabola. Strap the dog down.
Yeah. Also, the bottom of the parabola, very messy for everyone.
It's messy all the way. But really, the bottom of the parabola is where you want like a Gallagher or SeaWorld style poncho.
Bring your tarp. Bring your tarp.
So what have they found? What have they learned?
They've learned that we are fucked.
Oh, cool.
If an astronaut has to have surgery in space, we're fucked. We literally do not have the technology to do it. Vice actually filed a Freedom of Information Act request to find out what medical gear is even on board the International Space Station. And
scissors and spoons
all the way down. They found they have a big pharmacy, serious drugs.
Hell yeah, I bet they do.
But there's a problem with drugs too. If you pop them out of the blister pack, they oxidize immediately in space. So
they're useless.
You're pretty much fucked anyway. They have EpiPens, fucking shit ton of EpiPens. And
you can't get high off an EpiPen.
No. I'm sure you've tried. No, I don't.
No, I haven't tried.
They have automated emergency defibrillator and diagnostic equipment like blood pressure cuffs and an ultrasound device. Ultrasound can tell you if you're bleeding internally,
right?
Or it monitors the fluid level in your eyeballs, which is something they need to worry about there as well. But that's it. That's it. So the first astronaut that fucking breaks something or has a major laceration or needs some sort of surgery, appendicitis in space, they're just fucked. They're fucked.
Geez. Commander Austin, Tex?
Yeah.
Tex, I was going through the hallway to Node 3, by the cloud of scissors.
Oh, yeah. We really should get that cleaned up.
Yeah, we keep meaning to clean, but they have so much momentum.
They really are moving, aren't they?
They really are.
Yeah.
Anyway, sir, I needed to get through the cloud of scissors to get my spoon.
You wanted to eat.
I should have just printed a new spoon. I know you're always telling me that's what it's for.
Print a new spoon, son.
And I got a slight paper cut.
Uh-oh.
It's just a slight one, though.
Did you try sucking it up? Like, you got to suck it up.
Well, it's making a huge bubble around.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it's just a slight paper cut, I think.
Oh, man.
Do we have like a rubber band or a tourniquet or something, Commander Austin?
Here's the thing, Jimmy. When I was going through commander training,
I
also became a reverend. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to give you the last rites right now.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
But it's just a little...
No, it looks like something that wouldn't even bother you in any other situation. Mm-hmm. But you're gonna die,
Commander Austin. I'm not questioning your leadership, and it's not so much that I'm afraid to die, even though I am terribly, terribly afraid to die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But last week we had the guy who jammed his finger.
Yeah.
Stevenson.
Yep.
You jettisoned him out into space.
Yeah. He's better off. I'll just say there was a lot of screaming.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of complaint.
Yes, there was.
But I think we all can agree it was a beautiful moment.
I mean, I would say terrifying.
In a beautiful way, right?
I mean, I
guess. The way that like a painting of...
Boy, this blood bubble's getting huge.
Yeah. No, it's really moving.
And then there was Commander Levinson.
Levinson.
Yeah.
We boned in space.
Did you?
Yeah.
Are you just saying that?
Wink, wink.
Oh, boy.
Here we go.
Yeah, but...
I'm going to tell everyone about it.
And she literally just had, like, some pink eye.
Yeah, I gave it to her.
Oh.
It's a weird thing I'm into.
Wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
But you jettisoned her into space.
Right.
And if you had the pink eye...
Well...
Wait a minute, what's going on here, Commander Austin?
Just step right
Are
to your
you
left.
even Commander Austin?
Turn to your left.
We must take over the ship.
I mean, just reason number 473 not to go into space, right?
This is really, really terrifying. It's pretty crazy how little we know about what to even do in that situation because it's never happened. We hope it never happens, but it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
If we start going on longer and longer space flights, Elon Musk talking about putting people on Mars, we want to keep people in space longer. It's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna break something. Somebody's gonna trip. Somebody's gonna slash something. Scissors are gonna fall.
And right now, these crews, I mean, we think about these like hydroponic food experiments and things like that they're doing on the space station with they're growing tiny little gardens. But it's not like The Martian. They're not sending a botanist up there.
Right.
They don't have the money, or they don't have the money or the resources to just use one of the beds on the space station for a botanist.
Yeah.
What they do when they have like these food experiments is like somebody calls down. They're like, okay, I'm watering the plants as much as you said to water them, and it looks like the plants are dying. So they call down or they send an email.
Yeah.
And 2 days later, they get an email back that's like, okay, well, change up the water amount. Like, you can't do that. We don't have the resources to literally send a doctor up there yet.
They in fact have 20 NASA flight surgeons whose job it is to talk the astronauts through medical problems.
Yeah, but we don't send them up.
No, we don't.
Because they're not astronauts.
They're not astronauts, and we don't train the astronauts in medical procedures.
There's
too much other shit for them to train in.
This is not an Armageddon situation.
No.
You don't train an oil driller to be an astronaut.
Right.
You don't do it.
No. But they interviewed one of these NASA flight surgeons, and they said they wouldn't talk specifics because this doctor-patient confidentiality applies in space.
Yeah,
but
and the snipers.
They said they have answered questions ranging from slightly worried emails on the ISS to full-blown team meetings with specialists teleconferencing in. So there have been people on the ISS gone like, that doesn't look right.
Yeah.
We need to call some specialists.
And they're all sitting around the intercom, including the person who's injured.
Right.
And it's just like, Well, we're gonna find out. Hold on one second. We're just gonna call down and find out if you're gonna die.
Yeah. And really,
And then if you're gonna die, they just tell you, they're like, nothing we can do for you.
the whole plan at this point would be to get the person out of space as quickly as possible.
Well, that's just because the ISS is a bunch like a Disney park. Nobody ever gets declared dead on Disney property.
Right.
They put you in an ambulance no matter what.
Right.
Nobody dies on Disney property. Nobody
strangely,
dies on Disney
A
property.
lot of astronauts have died in Orange County, just
Yeah.
like the Disney.
Oh, he died. He died 15 minutes after they landed of choking on a waffle.
Yeah.
What?
What?
Yeah,
That
he
doesn't
choked.
sound right.
Commander Tex Austin choked on a waffle.
Why is there so much blood?
Rip?
There's a lot of blood.
That's
in that
crazy.
area.
This is just reason 874, not even 470, 874 not to go into space. It's something that I didn't think much about. I thought that they must have had like a full on
Right.
emergency medical kit. I didn't even think about this.
No.
Guys, space.
Still want to go?
Still want to go? Does this change things for you?
Yeah.
Did you already know about this? Let us
Don't-
know on Twitter. I'm
Don't
Eddie
break
Carboni.
anything. I'm Jeff Canada.
And you can hashtag those waffle. And hey, y'all, you go into that store. You know the store.
You talking about our store over at wehaveconcerns.com/store?
That's the one.
That's a good one to go to.
Oh, we got stuff.
Yeah.
You guys don't even know about the stuff, but you will. It's good stuff.
Go to the store and you'll find out about the stuff.
Trust me.